GAC Sports Network welcomes you to the following presentation of the Great American Conference.
Championship Saturday in Bentonville, Arkansas is a blazingly beautiful Saturday. Welcome to Bentonville, the Tiger Athletic Complex here on the campus of Bentonville High School. I'm Joey McWilliams along with Nathan Johnson and Sierra Clark. It's a privilege to get to bring you the 2025 Great American Conference Softball Championship game today. It is the top two seeds. The matchup that looked like is what we thought would happen. Southern Arkansas, Oklahoma Baptist 1 and 2 in the ranking this year according to the standings in the GAC. They have both won so many games, both coming into this playing well, playing strong. Southern Arkansas just dominated the league throughout the regular season. Oklahoma Baptist, the defending GAC champions in 23 and 24, coming back, picked fourth in the preseason. They come back to finish second, and this is the matchup, Nathan, that I think that a lot of people have been looking for. So you get the top two seeds in this. Let's talk about the number 2 seed, who will be the home team today. Nichelle Marshall coming away with a big home run against Southern Nazarene yesterday to put her team in a good position to ultimately see Allie Ryan walk this one off, and the Bison stoked, rightfully so. A big afternoon after a lightning delay yesterday. It came back, you can see it's golden hour, and it was definitely a golden hour for OBU.
It was, and look at all that emotion that kind of had that the whole team shared, the coach, the players, and all that. It was just a beautiful moment to kind of see it cap off after the stalemate that everybody kind of had to get through at the lost time. If we shift our focus, if we look over at Southern Arkansas here, they have had a crazy path. Brinson Rogers has led this team out there at the pitching mound. She's pitched 240 total pitches over 2 days, and she comes out. She's going to lead her team out here again to start this championship Saturday game. Yesterday, you saw there with the hat, the Sierra got to tell us all about, but the big thing out there was their defense. That play right there really capped off the crazy comeback, the crazy control that they had over that game. And we look forward to seeing what Brinson Rogers will really do out here. If she can keep going, maybe she'll eclipse 300 in 3 days.
It could happen. It would be amazing. We'll talk a little bit more about this matchup and more as we step aside for just a moment for the national anthem here in Bentonville.
At Southern Arkansas University, we believe success comes from grit, showing up every day, ready to face challenges head on. It takes determination, pushing beyond limits, learning, growing, and leading with purpose. And it takes perseverance, because every setback is just another step on the path forward. That's why we were nationally ranked the #1 best small public college in Arkansas by niche. Southern Arkansas University. Grit, determination, and the ride of a lifetime.
SWASU has been saying that the focus is you for 20 years. Now that I'm here, I know my voice matters.
It's a true home away from home where the professors really do put the focus on me and my dreams.
At SWASU, it feels like they are cheering me on with so many ways to get involved, like social clubs,
sports, quality academics, and great people who care about your success. For real, the focus is on you. Open the door to your future at SWASU. Go Dogs! SWASU, the focus is you.
Getting ready for first pitch here from the Tiger Athletic Complex in Bentonville. We get to hear now from Sierra Clark, who's going to tell us a little bit more about today's matchup.
And yesterday's semifinal win with Oklahoma Baptist, Allie Ryan hitting a 3-run home run to seal the deal for her team. I asked her before she stepped up to the plate, I said, what was going through your head? And she was like, I just wanted to do it for my senior teammates because I wanted them to have one more opportunity, and they're having that opportunity today against Southern Arkansas, who has finished first runner-up the past few years in the conference championship game, and they're hoping to finally get that win.
Absolutely, Sierra, and it has been a while because Southern Arkansas, a staple in this conference tournament and a staple up near the top of the league for so many years. That conference title has eluded them from the tournament perspective. And so we are just about to get things going here. The lineup for Southern Arkansas features Dillon, Stoddard, and Rubio to get things going. And Reagan Dillon will lead things off today, and she is facing for Oklahoma Baptist Georgia Barrett in the circle today. It is 12:29 Bentonville Daylight Time. First pitch underway, and that is across for a strike for Barrett, who comes in making her 23rd appearance of the season. 22 starts. She has a record of 10-5, an ERA of 4.51. She's pitched 2 complete games, 90 innings pitched this year, as Dillon sends that right back up the middle into center field, and Reagan Dillon gets our day started with a single as she stands up there. The defense behind Barrett, looks like this as Cook, Green, and Hacker are in the outfield. Marshall at first, Davis at second, Wells at short, Ryan at third, and Abby Laskowski is catching for Barrett today. Sophia Stoddard now shows bunt, lays it down beautifully. The throw from third to first is in time. Dillon moves over to second easily, and Southern Arkansas moves a runner on through. The fielder's choice, the sacrifice from Stoddard, and that will bring us to America Rubio batting third today.
Yesterday she had an RBI as well, so we're looking. You've already got somebody in a scoring position, 1 out. Do you look for a sac fly here? Do you try to get her at the third? Do you try to just get something over into the right field just to let her advance? What are you thinking?
Watches the strike right there. You know what? She can hit the ball well, and we have a different pitcher in as Barrett was set to go out at first, but we're looking now Morgan Max, as we showed her as one of the highlight players in this game. The roller to short puts Dillon in a bad situation. The run down, they tag her, so the Bison get the lead runner as Rubio will reach on a fielder's choice. So 2 down now, and we'll go back to Max's numbers here really quickly. Barrett set to start today. Max the starter, and Max making her 32nd appearance of the season. But this is just the 3rd time that Max has been sent out to start. Now, she's been instrumental against Southern Arkansas this year. We showed her as one of our highlight players. As a matter of fact, she had, of the 2 games in which these 2 played in the regular season, she factored as a pitcher of record in both. She had a save in game 1 and was the winner in game 2. Adams gets under that one, and it falls in shallow right as Rubio rounds second, rounds third. She's going to come all the way in for the score. Adams with an RBI triple. It found the gap perfectly between second and right there. Not much that Davis and Hacker could do. And just like that, the Southern Arkansas Mule Riders are on the board. A 2-out rally here in the top of the 1st inning.
Something we haven't really seen a lot in this tournament is we've seen so many extremely highly talented defensive plays from those outfielders and infielders that it's almost shocking that one actually landed after what's been happening these past 2 days.
A great hit from Adams that brings up Haley Cummings now for Southern Arkansas, the designated player, with a runner on third. And Southern Arkansas really has not been afraid to challenge Max in the early going here. These 2 teams played in the final series of the regular season. Southern Arkansas came in having won 10 consecutive series, but ran into a challenge in Shawnee against Oklahoma Baptist. Now, there was weather that weekend as well. They got in just 2 of the 3 games as the ball goes to Ryan, makes the throw over to Marshall in time, saves the run from going in there. But just like that, 1 flick of the bat, Southern Arkansas gets a run. Rubio scores from first, and the Mule Riders are on top. 1/2 complete. Oklahoma Baptist gets their shot when we come back.
SWASU has been saying that the focus is you for 20 years. Now that I'm here, I know my voice matters.
It's a true home away from home where the professors really do put the focus on me and my dreams.
At SWASU, it feels like they are cheering me on with so many ways to get involved, like social clubs,
Sports, quality academics, and great people who care about your success. For real, the focus is on you. Open the door to your future at SWASU. Go Dogs!
Everyone tells you to think about the future, but there's power in the process. We value this moment because at ATU, every moment brings you one step closer to what comes next. You've got this. Right here, right where you are. Focus on the now. Because our focus is on your success.
Bison get an opportunity now. Kaylee Cook will lead the way for Oklahoma Baptist. Cook, Hacker, and Green to get things going for the green, gold, and white. It's the outfielders who get things started for Oklahoma Baptist. In the circle for Southern Arkansas, Brinson Rogers, and her activity this season is well documented as to what she has done. 10 times in 13 weeks she was the pitcher of the week in the Great American Conference, and as you might imagine, she was the pitcher of the year in the conference as well.
She is an outstanding leader for this team, and she, as you had stated earlier, she is trying her best to lead by example. She will not give in. She knows how much this means to her team, which means it means even more so for her. So she is going to push every bit of a pitch that she can today.
Cook puts that back up the middle. Running over to make the grab is Owens. And a great play from second. One down here in the early going. You see Owens there at second, Huey at first, Clausen short, Lear at third, and then Dylan Rubio Adams in the outfield. Stoddard is catching for Brinson Rogers and Sierra. Rogers again, a fantastic season.
I was talking to head coach Jason Anderson before the game and asked him about Brinson Rogers, and he says that she's just a winner. She's very competitive and knows how to win. That's why they trust her so much. And she's had quite the journey herself, starting at Division I and at Louisiana Lafayette, then going to JUCO in Mississippi, and then now found her way to Southern Arkansas. So her hard work is definitely paying off.
Thank you, Sierra. Haley Hacker, a 5'7" freshman from Prague, is now batting for Oklahoma Baptist. Hacker is 2 for 5 for the tournament. Went 2 for 3 against Southwestern in the quarterfinal game on Thursday. Had an RBI.
Starting to see the swap up with the thing we talked about yesterday with how they communicate the pitch counts. They're apparently having issues already with the first one, so they're switching the backup.
By the way, that RBI that Hacker had, the game winner, it proved to be a walk-off single to score Stanford against Southwestern. Big victory in that quarterfinal. There's been a lot of excitement on this Oklahoma Baptist side. The fan base has definitely been strong, making the trip from Shawnee, Oklahoma. They're fired up to be here on Championship Saturday. And you know, Nathan, really that's a big deal too, because we talked about the fact this is in 23 and 24, the regular season champions, but when they got to Bentonville, the same success was not here. They have not seen that success. So to be playing on a Saturday in a championship game is very big for this program too.
Yeah, I mean, what you would expect to be games they're in control of have been a lot closer than I think they want them to be. And so coming out here, I think they come out with a re-enlightened kind of vision, and hopefully that they come out with a little bit more purpose in their swings. Maybe they don't assume it's as easy as they want it to be. So they're going to come out, and you saw they came out batting. They came out and they were ready to swing, and they got somebody in scoring position with no out or with one out relatively quickly. But I think that they got a little behind the bat there. So right here, they're taking care of the business. They got one out. They got one person on first. So I want to see if OKB can get somebody in scoring position, kind of rebound.
Sammy Green, she's one of those people that can get things done. The player of the year in the Great American Conference this year. Watches a strike for strike two. She's a little behind that first pitch from Rogers and the first offering there, the player of the year in the GAC. 1 for 4 yesterday against Southern Nazarene. Had 2 RBI, though. Struck out a couple of times, too. And she stays alive in this at-bat. Hitting .391 for the Bison this season. That's good enough for first for Oklahoma Baptist, leading the way. Green, a 5'8" senior from Clovis, California. Swing and a miss there. 4 pitches, and Green will take a seat. Again, a couple of strikeouts yesterday. Starts off with a K beside her name right now. 2 down. Runner on first, though, in the form of Haley Hacker, and that brings up Morgan Max, who originally on the lineup card was the designated player today, and a shift at the last moment. She's the pitcher. I have to change my scorecard, Nathan. Tell you what, if you enjoy the keeping score, baseball, softball, that's one of those fun skills that we all used to learn when we were little. So I still do it during the broadcast. I go old school in the broadcasts up here for baseball and softball.
Oh,
I've got my score sheets with me.
I'm surprised you don't have a chalkboard and some chalk out here just so it doesn't get blown away.
Give me a chance. I may add it to next year. So Max, the pitcher, 1-1, and that'll be 1-2 as that one bounces off the netting here. I love the back stop here, the netting at Tiger Athletic Complex, because it is very, very tight, and so the fouls will bounce back into play. Obviously not truly into play, but out into the turf.
We saw one yesterday. It fouled back, hit the right side, went all the way back to the pitcher. Caught it right in her glove.
Max gets under that one, fouled onto the sidewalk in the entranceway here. Morgan Max against Southern Arkansas, and again, she factored in big time against Southern Arkansas. They played just the 2 games, both 1-run victories for Oklahoma Baptist in that final week of the season, and Max was the winner in game 2 in the circle, pulled off a save in game 1 and pops up to short here in the opening inning of this championship game. So the fly ball to short right there ends the inning. A walk puts Hacker on base, and that's where she will stay. No hits, no runs, 1 left on base. 1 complete here from Bentonville.
So how do you make it? How do you overcome the odds? There's Natasha's way. Be shy, focus on yourself, until they focus on you. Or Juana's way.
Why be 1 champ when I want to be 2?
Be like Yusra. Let nothing
Syrian refugee pulls boat to safety.
destroy your dreams.
Screw fate.
Or maybe you beat doubt 1 step at a time, like Johnny. What about Zoe? Never satisfied. Not with trophies or stunts. Then there's Dennis. Work with what you got to get what you don't. Or you could be like me. Dream of pro football, get hurt, dream over. Find yourself with just $7 in your pocket. So how did I get here? By being the hardest worker in the room. How are you gonna get here?
Clausen, Huey, and Owens up here in the top of the second for Southern Arkansas. The Mule Riders on top by 1 early. Top seeded team in this tournament. And you consider, Nathan, as the season winds down here, how big a game this is. It's probably, well, it's big for everyone. Might be a little bit bigger for Oklahoma Baptist from the standpoint of they need to pick up a win. As Clausen lays down the bunt beautifully down the third base line, it dribbles to a stop right when it gets into the glove of Ryan. Nowhere to go there, and Clausen, a healthy bunt and a single to open things up for Southern Arkansas. The Bison need a win because if they don't get the automatic bid, their season will come to an end. Southern Arkansas, number 3 in the regional rankings, and win or lose, they'll be playing next week sometime, but you know they want a championship as well. Jenna Huey batting now for Southern Arkansas. Lays down the bunt, actually tries to lay down the bunt, and went right back into the glove of Max. So The fly to Max, 1 out. The great throw over to first would have been in time, but the catch not made there. So Clausen is able to get back quickly. 1 down.
As you can see right there, that's what they did in the first inning as well, is they get somebody on first, and then they're going for that sac bunt relatively early. And luckily, the pitcher was responsive very quickly and caught that, prevented the go to second.
That brings up Peyton Owens for Southern Arkansas. We'll talk a little bit more about those regional rankings as we go on through the day. Peyton Owens comes in hitting .267 on the year. One outside. 1-1 now the count. Owens, a 5'7" junior from Tupelo, Oklahoma. Transferred to Southern Arkansas from Seminole State. She's 1 for 5 in her stretch here in Bentonville this season. Has a run scored and walked once. Seminole State, one of those good junior college programs. Pipeline to 4-year schools. There are a number of those that are around this area that the coaches in the Great American Conference, when you look at the rosters, you'll see a lot of specific junior colleges and community college 2-year programs that you see those names regularly on the rosters, not only in softball but in baseball and the GAC as well. And you just know those are quality programs where players can come in there, get a year or two under the belt, and they're going to be able to find a 4-year school which to land. Got underneath that one's going to drift foul beyond our cameraman on the right field side.
We've had to do some acrobatics out there on those first and third base cameras the last few days with those foul balls. They're getting close. Luckily, our third base op is about a foot shorter than our first base op. So
foul there. Well, they wanted to hit her direction as well.
Now let's see if they can hit that outfield camera, right?
You know what? They know they've done something well if they can. We've had a couple come close here since we've been back in this facility. Bentonville West for day 1 of the tournament. Bentonville High for day 2 and day 3 now. Great facilities here, the Tiger Athletic Complex. Side of a number of Great American Conference tournament championships.
It's always a great place to play softball. You might get a little sprinkle here or there. Yesterday we had a small lightning delay in retrospect of what it could have been, but historically it's always been a good park weather-wise.
Owens gets underneath that one, trying to find the gap, and it will! She's going to keep going. Rounding second. Clausen heads on in for the score, and another triple. Peyton Owens finds the gap, the seam in right center, all the way to the fence, and Owens stands up at third with a triple, and RBI triple to boot. And the Mule Riders have 2 on the board here. There just was nothing that outfield could do. Green and Hacker gave everything they could to get to that spot. Cassidy Lear hitting from the 9 spot. Now batting for Southern Arkansas, and we have some activity in that Oklahoma Baptist bullpen. We'll talk about that in a moment. Nice job by Marshall to make the grab, trying to get the lead runner, and a run down, and Owens is in trouble. They're going to chase her down. Great job. I mean, this is textbook to get the runner in the base path. Finally, the tag. We'll see what the numbers all wind down here in a moment. I'm sure the folks up here in the press box are statting that properly. In the meantime, on the fielder's choice, Lear made it all the way to second base, so she's going to hang out there with 2 down now. It takes us back to the top of the order, and as we get there, really quickly, some activity in the bullpen for OBU.
Yeah, over in the bullpen, you got Georgia Barrett, which is who we talked about this morning before they pulled a switcheroo on us.
So Barrett, we've already given you her numbers. We may talk about them a little bit later on. In the meantime, she's warming up right now. Max in the circle, giving up a couple of runs. And Reagan Dillon, who represents the top of the order, back up to bat. There's the 0-1. Watches that outside. Lear off the base path. I was visiting with Coach Jason Anderson just a little bit earlier this morning, Midwest Sports Saturday, and he reminded me, we were talking to Dylan in the pregame, the preseason media day. She goes by Buddha. They call her Buddha on this team. So Buddha now batting, and right back up the middle, and that will score a run. Lear from second all the way in, slides in, probably didn't have to, but it looks good for the photo op there. Lear comes in, 3 on the board now for Southern Arkansas as Reagan Dillon has an RBI single.
Southern Arkansas is putting a ton of pressure on the infield of Oklahoma Baptist because they're catching runners, they're making them stay honest between second and third, and then that one was just right at the pitcher, through her legs, then bounced off that second base bag and went over that the baseman right there. They're putting a lot of pressure on the infielders to kind of keep them honest, keep them close.
Back to Stoddard now. Sacrifice, fielder's choice.
There's Anderson right there.
11th season with the program. He's had some fantastic years with Southern Arkansas, and the Mule Riders softball and baseball as well too. The programs down in Magnolia really just fantastic spring sports. There's Jace Brewer in his first season at the helm. He's been with Oklahoma Baptist now for 4 years, 3 years with head coach Sam Maples, who has moved on, and Coach Jace Brewer, in essence, moved over a seat on the bench. That's more appropriate, I think, for basketball. You really kind of move over the seat there on the bench. So I don't know if you move over a seat in the dugout. As it stands, he's in his first season as the head coach, and boy, I mean, it's been a fantastic year. Oklahoma Baptist 36-16 overall. The only team to win a series against Southern Arkansas this year during the regular season. Stoddard will take the base with 4 balls, and 2 out still. Mule Riders got a run on the board with 2 outs in the first inning. They have a couple on the board here. 3-0 the score as Dillon moves over to second, and Stoddard at first now for America Rubio. Rubio had the game-winning RBI single to score Peyton Owens yesterday against Harding. A little outside there, Rubio, 5'9", redshirt junior from El Paso, Texas. Her second year to play with the Mule Riders, and she's all GAC honorable mention. Rubio, ground ball to second, and 4-3. Retires the side. 2 runs on the board, though, with 3 hits, 2 left on. 1.5 in the books here, and the Mule Riders are on top 3-0. Three runs on 5 hits for Southern Arkansas to their first 2 opportunities to come to bat today, and well, that's a pretty big deal. This is an Oklahoma Baptist team, though, that been down to Southern Arkansas before in the regular season, found their way back. And I believe the Mule Riders had 3 runs in one of the first opportunities there. One swing of the bat, one pitch, just like that. One down for Oklahoma Baptist as Wells will take a seat, and that'll bring up Ryan. Allie Ryan, the hero from yesterday. A 3-run RBI, or a 3-run home run. Got 3 RBI in that. A walk-off home run in the victory over Southern Nazarene to make sure that this Bison team was playing on Saturday. Not the only time, by the way, that Allie Ryan has had a 3-run home run this season. She had a 3-run home run as the game winner against Southern Arkansas back during the regular season. It wasn't a walk-off, but it was the game winner. Yesterday's, with that walk-off feel, made the excitement even that much more, of course, in a conference semifinal there. There's Allie Ryan's mom. Hi, Mom. She was excited, by the way. Actually, I got to listen. She was visiting with some folks in the stands, and she was excited about the video. And Allie asked, did they get that? Did they get the hug with Coach Brewer? I think she talked with you about that too in the truck a little earlier.
She came in and she poked her head in. She's like, hey, just wanted to make sure, is that something we can get a hold of? And look back, sure enough, our illustrious camera crew that never misses a beat.
Absolutely. Cannot say enough about the camera crew that we get to work with. So Ryan with the home run in game 1 of the series, again, which proved to be the game winner. The 3-run walk-off yesterday against Southern Nazarene. And interestingly enough, it's her lone hit here in Bentonville. She's 1 for 6 during the weekend. She scored a run. That was a part of that home run and the 3 RBI shot yesterday. She's had 3 strikeouts. And that's a big deal too, Nathan, because you can struggle, have your ups and downs. One of the players mentioned yesterday post-game that this is a game of failure. Actually, Brinson Rogers said that it's a game of failure. And so you look at that coming in. Prior to that 3-run walk-off home run, you look at Ryan's stats, 0 for 5, 3 strikeouts. Man, she's just not playing that well. And then she ends the game as a hero.
It speaks to the leadership in that dugout, talking about the coaching change as well that happened. Like, to be able to still have that confidence in yourself, that doesn't just usually start with yourself, right? That usually starts by having people have confidence in you and instill that in you. So that speaks volumes for the attitude and the confidence that everybody in that dugout has in each other.
Ryan watches that one. 3-2 the count. 1 down. Here's the payoff. That one is high. It's going to stay within the bounds of the field, and Reagan Dillon is there to make the catch.
Talking about, even more so going back on that point you were talking about on the going 0 for 4, but still never giving up. That Marshall right here, 1 for 5 on the weekend, but 2 RBIs and a home run for that one. It speaks volumes of, maybe it's also the game plan where they're not exactly swinging for the infield, they're swinging for the outfield, swinging for the fences more so than anything.
And it depends on, the scenario too, because of a couple of those outs. One of them in particular, a sacrifice fly with an RBI, a big part of the win against Southwestern. These are 2 one-run games too. That sac fly RBI from Marshall, she was pumped about that because she knew how big it was at the time, and that was huge against the Bulldogs on Thursday to get them to Friday. And of course, her 1 hit in the 1 for 5, as Nathan mentioned there, over the center field fence. Just laid out there in the mud yesterday. You guys had a great shot of that with the drone.
Yeah, that was. Luckily, these softballs are bright yellow, so it's easy to see on that drone.
Marshall, a freshman from Moore, Oklahoma. Not too far away from Shawnee. Watching that one outside. Count goes full again. No one on right now for Oklahoma Baptist. Trailing by 3 here in the bottom of the second. Payoff pitch here. Across for a strike. Marshall looks at it, and then she'll take a seat. 1, 2, and 3 here in the bottom of the second, and that ends with a strikeout looking. No one left on, no hits, no runs. The Mule Riders are in control after 2 here in Bentonville.
Running outdoors, you got to take what nature gives you. We'd like to say we run when they don't. So we want to give you products to be able to run when you don't think you should run, when it's pouring rain outside, it's snowing. We're going to have products for you to get out there. You don't get better sitting on your butt not training. You got to get out there and run.
At Under Armour, it's always about premium textiles. They need to perform, they need to be the best. The merging of hybrid textiles with naturals and new seaming and bonding and super sleek, modern, fast, futuristic designs, that's where we are really going to turn it up a notch. If you look good and you feel good, you're going to perform better.
Little Aerosmith, little Run DMC here at the ballpark. Tiger Athletic Complex, and Adams, Cummings, and Clausen, the middle of the order now on the way for Southern Arkansas. The Mule Riders with a 3-run advantage after 2 complete. Morgan Mack still in the circle, and swinging on the first pitch is Adams. And the throw in time, Ryan to Marshall over there. Adams had a triple that sent in a run earlier today. RBI to get the scoring going, and falls prey to the 5-3 here in the third. Haley Cummings, the designated player for Southern Arkansas this afternoon. Cummings had her first home run of the season on Thursday against Henderson State. A 3 RBI home run, no less. She's 1 for 6 overall on the weekend. Yeah, that's one of those things too, Nathan, as you were talking about players swinging for the fences. It's not been that case in every game. We've seen Oklahoma Baptist play definitely in Southwestern on Thursday, small ball, but they can do whatever. And Coach Brewer has, brought that out too. He wants to go with the numbers, but for Southern Arkansas, I mean, if you're going to go 1 for 6, let that one be a 3-run shot,
right? Like if you're gonna swing for it, you might as well get something out of it. No, there's a good mentality inside this team, and they trust each other to make the right decisions when they're over that plate.
Cummings, a sophomore from Suwanee, Georgia. Transferred from North Georgia, former Nighthawk. Now Mule Rider. Just put the bat on that one to keep that in play. Count remains at 1-2. Southern Arkansas with a couple of players being recognized in the individual superlatives this year, along with Brenton Rogers. We talked about her being the pitcher of the year as Cummings puts the bat on that one, 6-3. Wells gets it to Marshall in time, 2 up, 2 down. Bring up Savannah Clausen, the coach of the year, also wearing blue and gold and white today, has the white top one. Jason Anderson, the GAC coach of the year for 2025 as Clausen comes to bat. Savannah Clausen, a 5'11" senior from Arvada, Colorado. D1 transfer from Cal State Bakerfield, one of the Road Runners, signed her NLI to play there. There for about a cup of coffee and went over to Eastern Arizona. Spent a couple years with the Eastern Arizona College Monsters. Got to love that as a nickname. Alyssa would have liked that, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that during her tenure here, but she was one of the Monsters, and she spent 2 years now with the Southern Arkansas program.
I was just thinking about that, about the Road Runners, too.
Yeah. It's a good one.
You two bantering about college mascots kept us real entertained yesterday.
Hey, listen, I like mascots. College and high school, and there are a lot of good ones. You know, there are your lions and tigers and bears. And in Oklahoma, of course, a lot of high schools. There are a lot of Indians and Eagles. But then there are some that are a little more
niche.
Yeah, a little niche. Clausen puts that into right field, stands up and beats out the throw, and heads up play by Hacker to see if she can try to throw her out from the field. Can't get it done as Clausen beat that one out, and it's going to bring up Jenna Huey now. So a runner on base, and Nathan, in each of the previous 2 innings, the Mule Riders have been able to put runs on the board with 2 outs. So here's another opportunity for a 2-out rally. Huey lines that one in to left center. Clausen rounds second. She rounds third. She has the green light. She will stand up and score. How's that for
it's
another
like you
2-out
spoke
rally?
it into existence, Joey.
How about that? Wow.
They keep attacking this infield. You see right here that ground just goes right in the gap right there. It's playable, but you're stretching for it. And they are challenging everybody on that infield to keep up with those ground balls. And once they slide through that first row, it's game time. These Mule Riders will sprint those bases all day long.
Number 12, Peyton Owens.
So an RBI double for Huey, who has, again, come into this contest with home runs in each of the previous 2. Another RBI right there. Peyton Owens swings at the first pitch. Center field, it is playable. The catch is made by Green. The player of the year is there to put an end to the scoring, but not without the Mule Riders putting another one up on the board here in the 3rd frame. 4-0 our score, and the Bison will be up with Laskowski, Davis, and Cook when we come back.
At East Central University, we educate and empower students to transform the world. We provide an exceptional hands-on learning experience with professors who really go that extra mile. East Central University encourages students to become who they are meant to be while making lasting memories. East Central University, welcome home.
We see you. Your incredible potential and willpower set you apart. You're first to take that leap of faith. First to get to work. First to solve the problem. No burden should be carried alone. We'll be there. Every step, day, challenge. First is your destiny. We get it because first is who we are.
The Bison needing to get something going on the offensive side now. They have played from behind a couple times over the season and come back to get wins. They've done so against Southern Arkansas twice this year. You look too at the season as Rogers still in the circle now for Southern Arkansas, and you knew that was going to happen. I mean, Coach Anderson, all 3 games has sent Rogers out there as the starter, rightfully so. It would have been shocking if that hadn't been the case. Laskowski, Davis, and Cook, as we talked about, up for the Bison, but just 2 games they played this year, and it was a weather-challenged weekend, I think is the best way to put that. Got both games of the doubleheader in one day. The second game was an 11-inning game between the 2. Both 1-run wins for Oklahoma Baptist, and you get to that final day, and I mean, just the weather. They tried to get senior day in Shawnee and just could not do it. And the coaches would have liked to. Both coaches said they'd like to get something done. But at that point in the season, it was the final regular season game. Everything was set. You knew 1 and 2 seeds, and ultimately it didn't factor in. I guess one way you could look at it, Nathan, is this. This is game 3.
This is definitely definitely an interesting game 3, and with a lot at stake for this game 3. One of the things that just happened over there with that foul ball going off, it went right at our camera operator. You know who saved it?
The camera operator?
Coach Jason Anderson. Look at it.
Get a look at this over here. That foul ball. Wow, what
Shout
a grab.
out Coach Anderson for protecting the equipment.
Actually, I didn't even see that. That was quite a lead.
Right? Showing just how athletic he is.
Laskowski sits down. 1 down as Davis comes to bat now, representing the 9 spot in the lineup. That's a good view, too, by the way. Nice shot. Kaylee Davis, a 5'5" freshman from Oklahoma City. That one's popped up. It'll stay in the infield. Clausen easily comes over to make the grab. 2 down. Rogers has retired 8 of 9 batters, 7 straight after giving up a walk to Haley Hacker back in the first. And we're back to the top of the order. Cook and Hacker will be on deck. Kaylee Cook, a member of the All-GAC second team, the freshman from Jurupa Valley, California. A Norco High School Cougar in her time there, which wasn't that long ago, and she's just in her first season with Oklahoma Baptist. Comes in to today's game hitting .391, good enough to be best on the team in batting average. But you know, she has really made her case for recognition this year on the base path. Once she gets on, 42 stolen bases in 43 attempts, as that was a strike. 1 and 2 now the count with 2 down. You have to get her on, and then after that she can make magic happen. She is so quick on those base paths. 1 for 3 on the week so far, but she's had 4 walks. This one right back up the middle. The throw to first is not in time. She was so quick getting that through. Now, it was deflected a bit by Rogers' glove there, and so Owens couldn't get to as quickly as she would have liked to. Had that gone straight through to her glove more quickly, she'd had a little bit more time to make the throw. As it stands, Cook beats that one out, and she is on base with 2 outs.
I would bet that there are a lot of people watching right now that are curious on how you are calling this game, in the sense of you have called 2 things now, predicted it.
Well, let's see what happens. I'll tell you what, you give her about an inch and she'll be on second base. And don't think that's lost on Sophia Stoddard, the catcher for Southern Arkansas. She's going to be ready to try to make that throw to second.
As you can see there, that camera is shaking because it is windy right now, and you can only imagine how that's going to play out in, say, a ball gets past a catcher trying to infield that ball. Even if it goes in the outfield, how much it's going to move with that much wind. Having a runner on base right now for the first time today, this could set up something good for the Bison.
Well, 3 of the 4 runs that the Mule Riders have scored have come with 2 outs, so we'll see if that is the case right here. 2-1 the count with 2 down. And there goes Cook, the line right to Clausen, and another out. 4 up, 3 down, 1 hit, 1 left on base, no runs. And through 3 now, it's 4-0. Southern Arkansas on top.
What does it mean to be a Ranger? It means smaller class sizes, so you're seen and heard. It means graduating debt-free, like over half of our students. It means getting help when you need it through financial aid and scholarships, like more than 80% of our students. To be a Ranger, you're rowdy with excitement. To be a Ranger, you care about your education. To be a Ranger, you saddle up to a challenge and ride to success. Rowdy lives here. Rangers live here. Northwestern. Success lives here.
SWASU has been saying that the focus is you for 20 years. Now that I'm here, I know my voice matters.
It's a true home away from home where the professors really do put the focus on me and my dreams.
At SWASU, it feels like they are cheering me on with so many ways to get involved, like social clubs,
Sports, quality academics, and great people who care about your success. For real, the focus is on you. Open the door to your future at SWASU. Go Dogs!
A bit windy out here in Bentonville today, as you can see that. There's that flag, and it's been at full extension for most of this game. One of the points about that, too, Nathan, is the fact that it is blowing in from right field. So unless someone's got a really big bat today, it's going to be tough to get that out of this park. Lear, Dillon, and Stoddard now for Southern Arkansas.
Yeah, looking at the forecast right now, it's showing
the little dribbler to third base. The throw is in time. Nice toss. Ryan shows her arm once again, and one down for Southern Arkansas to get things going in the top of the fourth. Go ahead.
It's showing it's about 17 miles an hour blowing infield. So anything goes up, however long that is, it's hooking in the air, it's just going to come right back. Like you said, you're going to have one of those torpedo bats.
Yeah. Dillon watches that one through. You know, the other thing about it's not going to go out as easily. I mean, you got to have a big old bat. But the other thing is that it allows for the ball to hang a little bit more in the air and gives the outfield an opportunity to, set up underneath it, make the good catch. Gives them a little bit more time to make a dive, like we've seen from some of these outfielders over the course of this weekend. Dillon showed bunt for a moment, stepped out of it, decided better. Reagan Dillon, a member of the All-Tournament team in 2024 and 2023, an All-GAC first-team member here in 2025 in the league. 2 for 3 on the weekend, but she's also walked 3 times. Make it 4.
Got some action going on in the Bison bullpen over here. It looks like Schaefer is now warming up over there.
Schaefer has been in the circle a couple times this week already, and Coach Jason Anderson has to be happy with the way this is playing out for his team right now. I mentioned, by the way, for Dillon, as we see Stoddard come on up, that was 2 for 3 coming in. She has 2 hits today, so she's 4 for 5 on the weekend. Trying to make some noise, I think, to be a part of the All-Tournament team for a 3rd consecutive year. Stats probably back that up. Strike for Sophia Stoddard. Stoddard, a 5'5" grad student from Bountiful, Utah. And with a walk today, it's the first time she's walked to get on base. She's 2 for 6 on the weekend prior to that. Just puts the end of the bat on that. The throw from Wells in time. She eschews the opportunity to take the lead runner. Probably the best decision there. Gets one out and 2 down now for Southern Arkansas, which honestly is pretty much right where they want to be. America Rubino now batting with 2 down. And Sierra, I know that you've had a chance to keep up with her this weekend.
Yeah, Coach Anderson from SAU says his player America Rubio is very funny off the field, and Spanish is her first language, so she also helps Coach Anderson with some Spanish. She'll maybe correct him if he says something wrong, but he's enjoyed her presence on the team for sure.
Oh, that's cool. That's a recruiting tool as well. That one will drift foul, take a little roll foul, so it gives everyone an opportunity to reset. And I don't think that's quite the hit that the way that Rubio wanted to put that on the bat, too. If you're going to lay that down, that bunt like that, that wasn't the swing exactly that she wanted.
No, it looked like there was hesitation in that swing, right?
Rubio again with a game-winning RBI single in yesterday's win against Harding. A matchup of two nationally ranked teams in yesterday's semifinal. The only two nationally ranked teams in the league coming into the tournament this year, both in the regional rankings. We'll see what happens with Harding at the selection show tomorrow. Rubio puts the bat on that one, catches it a little bit better, still drifts foul. 2-2 the count now with 2 down.
She's still swinging early, and so it's I think either the ball's not coming to her as fast as she's anticipating, or she is just ready to swing, and it's going over that brick wall over there.
That one's fouled. She's going to stay alive in this at bat.
We've seen a lot of battles, haven't we, over this weekend?
Absolutely.
I think actually Brinson Rogers was at like a 24-pitch battle yesterday too.
It definitely, the pitch counts have been high, and Janie Worthington for Southern Nazarene, not only pitch count high, but also just the way she stayed out through many innings. 9 innings on the first day, and a very long day yesterday as well against this Oklahoma Baptist team. Rubio, that time still going to pull foul. And it is also to be noted that it is blowing in from the right, so outside. 3-2 now the count with Dillon on second. 3 of the 4 Mule Riders runs have come with 2 outs in the inning, and they've scored in every frame so far. Will they keep that up here in the 4th? That one hop to Wells. The throw in time. No, that little streak comes to an end. 1 left on base, though, and no hits, no runs this time. We're midway through this championship game in Bentonville. 4-0. Mule Riders up.
It's your moment. It's your moment.
It's your moment.
At East Central University, we educate and empower students to transform the world. We provide an exceptional hands-on learning experience with professors who really go that extra mile. East Central University encourages students to become who they are meant to be while making lasting memories. East Central University, welcome home.
Oklahoma Baptist bringing up Green, Max, and Wells. Sammy Green now batting for the Bison, and she's 0-1 coming into this one. Sierra, Player of the Year, now batting for the Bison.
Yeah, Sammy Green is originally from California, and she came to OBU as a walk-on actually her freshman year, and she's just been able to transform all 4 of her years there at Oklahoma Baptist. And actually she was so athletic that she almost walked onto the basketball team at OBU. So she is a very versatile player.
Now listen, I'm sure Coach Overton would have liked that. Absolutely, she is quite an athlete and has made her presence known not only there on Bison Hill but also in the league as well. That on the turf, over to Owens. Quick throw to first, and Green will take a seat. She's had a couple of struggles here in the tournament so far, though. She's 1 for 7 coming into today, and today 0 for 2 to add to those numbers after the quick 4-3 right there. She'll take a seat as Morgan Max comes to bat, 0 for 1 today.
You look at it, I think it's she's struggling. The team needs to get back to the drawing board in a sense, right? Because we're 1 for 11 as a team coming into this right now, and I think it's just we need to get back to our roots, and whatever we came into with a little bit of a game plan, maybe we need to shift it. If it's going out and try to swing for the fences, maybe we need to just get something in the infield. I think we just got to find what our identity is for this game.
And the Bison, yeah, that's struggling right there. Just that one hit against Brinson Rogers. As advertised, though, Brinson Rogers is a challenging opponent there in the circle. There's the 0-2. Max pops that one up. Clausen easily steps up to make the grab. She and Rogers are fired up, as well they should be.
You know what? Going into this at-bat, there's 2 outs. This is a completely different game when a batter walks in the batter box with 2 outs. Regular team hitting, we're looking at a combined 8 for 29. Between the 2 teams with 2 outs, they are 5 for 12.
They're stepping it up there when they see that crooked number up there on the board. That one down the middle, but a little high. Taken by Greenlee Wells, 5'9" junior from Vian. Transferred in from Eastern Oklahoma State College, former Mountaineer. 2-time player of the week this year already. Pulls that one hard to right field. Wells is 2 for 3 for the tournament. She scored a couple of runs, though, because she's been able to get on base in more than one way. Walked 4 times in the previous 2 games here in Bentonville. Outside 2-1. A member of the All-GAC first team here in 2025. Swing and a miss there. A little behind that one from Rogers. And the GAC pitcher of the year has been mixing up these pitches here. Oklahoma Baptist struggling to find exactly what they want. That one down the middle. Wells looks at it. And that was all she could do. 1, 2, and 3. Another inning ended with a strikeout looking. Brinson Rogers is dealing here in Bentonville, and the Mule Riders are benefiting. Well, we had Georgia on our mind a little bit earlier today because she was actually on the lineup card to be the starting pitcher for the Bison. That proved not to be the case as we had the misdirection and Morgan Max came out to pitch. In the meantime, we do have a shift right now as Georgia Barrett is coming in relief for the Bison. And Barrett, her numbers I gave to you a little bit earlier, 10-5 on the season. Won't give you the whole number again except for the fact that this is her 23rd appearance. And she's coming in relief for only the 2nd time this season, an ERA of 4.51. She got a win against these Mule Riders in the regular season. That was in game 1 of what proved to be a shortened series. And it's Adams, Cummings, and Clausen now batting for the Mule Riders. Adams is 1 for 2 on the day, an RBI triple back in the 1st, and she ground out in the 3rd. So here we are, top of the 5th now. Mule Riders with a 4-run cushion, and Adams will take a seat looking at that one. Back-to-back strikeouts looking, one from each team, and Barrett comes in dealing here. Haley Cummings, ground out in the third. Third out in the first inning as well. Nathan, I think the wind's picked up even a little bit more.
Yeah, everything in here is starting to blow around. The trees in the outfield could be classified as a distraction for the batter. They're moving so much out there.
There's a lot going on out there. You don't want to be shooting free throws with all that movement going on behind.
Watch right here. Look at the resiliency of that ump. Just, I don't want to do that job. I'll tell you that.
1-2 now the count. Has a hard swing and a miss there. Cummings ground out to third in the first, to short in the second, or in the third actually. Watches that a little high. Count goes full. Oklahoma Baptist pitchers combining now to retire 3 straight. And that one is hit high. It is deep. It will stay in the air long enough for Green to get up underneath it and make the catch. And I think on a different day, that one might have had enough to leave the park. Not today, though. Not with that wind coming in from right like that. And so Cummings, who has a home run to her credit on the weekend, will sit down. And that will bring up Clausen. Clausen has scored a run in the second and the third innings. Got on base with a single in each of those innings. And you know what? She's going to do it again. At least get on base with a single. That much is certain.
Yeah, she watched her teammate just before hit that out and goes, I don't think I can hit it any farther. Battle that wind. So let's just hit it on the ground and see if the fielders can catch it.
That was quite a quick hit to get past Marshall as it did. And look at that. Right there, Marshall couldn't get over there quickly enough. Jenna Huey coming in. She has an RBI double to her credit as she sent Clausen home earlier. Quite a hit, and Clausen again scored from first base back in the third. We know that she has some wheels.
You know what that was, though? Another batter getting on with 2 outs.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. See if the Mule Riders can pick up where they left off in the third inning. Huey for the tournament. And that one, dribbler back up to short. The throw to first is in time. Can't get a 2-out rally here. 1 left on, 1 hit, no runs though. Midway through the 5th here in Bentonville with Ryan Marshall and Muskowski on the way.
I am inspired to lead.
I'm inspired to research. I'm inspired to care for others. I'm inspired to shape the future. I'm inspired to tell compelling stories.
I'm inspired to innovate. I'm inspired to create.
I'm inspired to serve.
I'm inspired to be a champion.
I'm inspired to change the world.
As we come back in and we look at Brinson Rogers, 4 strikeouts already today in the 4 innings. One of the things that make people great is not just their stats, but it's their dependability and their durability. Coming up right now at this pitch, this very next pitch is going to be her 300th pitch over the weekend. Now that is somebody that you can depend on. That is somebody that is a leader in the dugout for the entire team and tries to set her best example for everybody on that team.
Absolutely. She's had a strikeout in each inning, one in each inning specifically. 2 swinging, 2 looking. As Ryan, Marshall, and Laskowski come up. Allie Ryan, after the big home run yesterday, the walk-off to send the Bison here to the championship game, flew out to left back in the 2nd inning. That one is high, headed toward left, but it will be Clausen who steps back in shallow left to make the catch. Looks over Dylan and said, ha, I got that one.
Gotta love the trust in each other, right? For that left fielder to not just full sprint and call that player off, to just know that, you know what, she's got it.
Well, this Oklahoma Baptist team, actually, this is not too far away from the book on them this weekend because they've scored later on in contests. As a matter of fact, it wasn't until the bottom of the 5th inning yesterday in which the Bison got runs on the board. And after that lightning delay, there were 6 half frames, and each team scored in each of those half frames. Both Southern Nazarene and Oklahoma Baptist, they were able to put runs on the board, both teams in the 5th, 6th, and 7th after we came back from that lengthy lightning delay.
Yeah, they came back and they scored 6 runs in 3 innings. They came into the bottom of the 7th behind and still came back, powered through, and won the game. This team is a team that never gives up and has trust in each other. And again, like we talked about, that starts with your leadership. This is a team that will not roll over until the game is over.
Well, they're going to need to put runs on the board here as Marshall with another hard cut. 2-2 now the count. Marshall, the freshman, has a pair of RBI to her credit in Bentonville. Watches that one high. Count goes full. Another one of those freshmen now for both of these teams getting that conference tournament experience. It's a different game in the 2nd season. Swing and a miss. She will take a seat. Strikeout number 5 on the day for Brinson Rogers. And that's the 2nd time that she has retired Marshall by way of the strikeout. Laskowski also sat down with a strikeout. That was back in the 3rd inning. And Rogers sends that one across for a strike. 0-1 the count. Looked at that one, thought about it, let it go. 1-1. Laskowski, a sophomore from Helmet, California. A nursing major at Oklahoma Baptist. That one trying to find the gap, but the wind, I believe the wind held that up just enough. Owens was going to get there anyway, I believe, but she made it look a little bit more routine. 1, 2, and 3 a strikeout, and a couple in the air. Rogers with 5 Ks to her credit, 5 complete here in Bentonville as well. Mule Riders have Owens, Lear, and the top of the order in Dillon when we come back.
What does it mean to be a Ranger? It means smaller class sizes, so you're seen and heard. It means graduating debt-free, like over half of our students. It means getting help when you need it through financial aid and scholarships, like more than 80% of our students. To be a Ranger, you're rowdy with excitement. To be a Ranger, you care about your education. To be a Ranger, you saddle up to a challenge and ride to success. Rowdy lives here. Rangers live here. Northwestern. Success lives here.
SWASU has been saying that the focus is you for 20 years. Now that I'm here, I know my voice matters.
It's a true home away from home where the professors really do put the focus on me and my dreams.
At SWASU, it feels like they are cheering me on with so many ways to get involved, like social clubs,
sports, quality academics, and great people who care about your success. For real, the focus is on you. Open the door to your future at SWASU. Go Dogs!
George Barrett in the circle again for Oklahoma Baptist as we open up the 6th inning here. Barrett, a 5'7" grad student from Sydney, Australia. And she's facing Owens to get things going here at the top of the 6th inning. Barrett, a transfer from Utah Valley University. She was a Wolverine for a couple of years there. Prior to that, she played at Howard College in Texas. Prior to that, she played at Pensacola State College. And that one high and finally comes down to Wells, who retires Owens to get things started there. Another out to Barrett's credit. And so Barrett now in her 4th program in college. In 5 seasons, the grad student gets 1 more year in, coming over from Australia to get it done.
Talk about just a tour of the United States, right? You start in Australia, you're in Utah, you're in Texas, you're in Oklahoma, you're in Florida.
Exactly.
I mean, you're getting to see everything.
Pretty cool. Somebody coming in saying, hey, I'm going to come all the way across the world and just get to see everything and play some softball while I'm at it.
Yeah. I mean, if that doesn't encourage middle school and high schoolers to start playing sports, I don't know what does.
And a record of 10-5 this year with the Bison. Facing Lear here in the 9 spot for Southern Arkansas. Lear has a run scored to her credit, reached on a fielder's choice back in the 2nd and ground out in the 4th. Fouled back. This is one of those days it's fun to be a fan, but you don't know exactly what to wear. The sun's out, and here at Bentonville, when the sun comes out, I mean, it can get hot in a hurry. Definitely a lot of tans and or sunburns, as the case may be. As that one is popped up, it will not stay playable. Caught by one of the OBU fans right in front of us, so props to him for making the grab there. But with the wind blowing today and it being in the high 60s, possibly even low 70s right now, I think it was set to be high in the 60s at 67 or 68. It's still a little chilly. I mean, everyone still has their hoodies and their jackets on. I think I got a blanket for my wife earlier. I don't know if she still has it. Ground ball to 2nd for Lear. The throw is in time. Davis to Marshall, 2 down.
I'll tell you what, if she doesn't have it, we'll take it up here.
Exactly.
If that wind wasn't so bad, it would be really good softball weather. It would be nice, warm, just enough to build up like a little bit of body heat. And you're kind of just relaxing and watching a good softball game. But that wind is crispy, as you can see right there. That flag has not that flag is not relaxed in 3 hours.
Dillon has reached base in the 1st, the 2nd, and the 4th. A single, an RBI single, and a walk on the day. Reagan Dillon trying to get on again here, and she will do just that. That drops in front of Cook. She can't make the play. Hustles to first, and for the 4th time today, she makes it to first, 3rd time with a single. What an afternoon, and I'd say a solid tournament for Reagan Dillon, for Buddha.
Yeah, way to find the gap and just putting it right down that foul line. It dropped maybe 3 feet out from that foul line, made them really run over. It's just out of the reach and keeping it low so that wind doesn't carry it out. Talk about another 2-out base
exactly.
runner, right?
There's another one. Mule Riders have an opportunity here.
The Mule Riders are 6-11 when there's 2 outs on the board right now.
Those are good numbers. Take that. Talked with both these coaches about numbers and how big they are, and a really good conversation with Coach Brewer earlier today. Numbers are a big deal to him, and I'm a numbers guy. And if you are, you have to love sports like baseball and softball, because I mean the numbers are there, but just the analytics involved. And Coach Brewer was talking about the fact that he'll take some risks, but he really likes to go with what the numbers show him. Stoddard batting with a runner on. Sophia Stoddard, not the day so far maybe that she wanted. 0 for 2 with a walk, swing and a miss there. And 2's across the board with 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. She's led the team. 53 hits coming in. Trying to pick up her 54th here. Division I transfer with 2 D1 schools to her credit in Southeast Louisiana and Idaho State. Right now, that's not what she's thinking about. Thinking about going back out the field to keep OBU off the board. A swing and a miss and a strikeout for Barrett. 1 single, but 1 left on. No runs scored. Mule Riders have been shut down for the last 3 innings, so Oklahoma Baptist needs to try to do something to take advantage of it.
Everyone tells you to think about the future, but there's power in the process. We value this moment because at ATU, every moment brings you one step closer to what comes next. You've got this. Right here, right where you are. Focus on the now, because our focus is on your success.
The professors care and they go out of their way to make sure that you are going to succeed.
Hi, I'm Alante. I'm a sophomore at Southeastern, and we help make this video.
I was just thinking about how pretty a day it is, and my goodness, I don't know that we've ever had better views of how pretty a day it is here in Bentonville. A fantastic facility, great place to get to watch a game, to get to broadcast a game, and I would imagine to get to play a game as well. Brinson Rogers in the circle now for Southern Arkansas, and she has retired 7 straight batters. Make it 8. The 1-3. You know what? Here's the deal on that. She's involved in the put out there with the 1-3 throwing to first, but I don't know if you would you rather get the K, but she had to throw 3 pitches at least to get that. She just threw 1 pitch that time.
I mean, I think if I'm her after pitching as many pitches as I have over 3 days, I just want the out and to get it over with, right?
You've made a point a couple of times. I know we've talked about this during the break in that, but I mean, obviously Brinson has shown durability in her stretch this week. We know that she can pitch and put a lot of innings in as Cook pops that one up, and quickly Huey runs over to make the grab in foul territory. And this is going to go to this point. I know there are 2 outs, but I want to give you the opportunity to say this quickly. Oklahoma Baptist has been aggressive with the bats.
They have.
And there's been a lot of first pitch swinging. And to do that, and if you're not seeing the success, it plays into Rogers' hands because she's not having to have as many throws.
Correct. And it's one of those things we kind of talked about in our pregame talk is get a pitch, another strike right down the strike. Where you have somebody that has pitched for 3 straight days, you would think one of the possible game plans is to try to wear her down. But maybe it's one of those where you have confidence in your bats, so you just want to keep swinging first pitch. As it was pointed out at the second out, it was 2 outs and 3 pitches. Before this inning started, we were at 70 total pitches over 5 innings. That's averaging 14 pitches an inning. If you just throw strikes straight down every time, that's only 9.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane, and it's playing to her advantage because now she can make it through the rest of the game at this point. She pitched 129 and 111 in the past 2. At this rate, I don't know if we go over 100.
It's working to her advantage, definitely. And Hacker sends that one foul. Looked like that one was close. Hacker, a decent tournament for her, as she is 1 for 2 on the day, 2 for 5 coming in with an RBI. We talked about the game-winning walk-off RBI single back on Thursday against Southwestern. 5'7" freshman from North Rock Creek High School. Prague, Oklahoma, actually, but played her high school ball at North Rock Creek, one of the Cougars there. And that one fouled back as well. So it does keep Rogers in a good position that she's not having to expend as much. You know, J.D. Worthington for Southern Nazarene, she pitched 9 innings on day one, pitched 7 yesterday, but there were many, many battles that were longer in some of those at-bats. Hacker came in to the weekend having 28 hits. She's had a couple on the weekend. 28 hits and scoring 29 runs. On top of that, she's had 22 RBI. And that one lined into right center, so Oklahoma Baptist will have a base runner, and for the first time in 8 batters, get someone on base.
We're going to have to just assume at this point, anytime a batter comes into the box and there's 2 outs, they're going to find the gap and they're going to get on base. That was a beautiful slot right over the pitcher's head. That's been what they've been aiming at, it feels like, most of the day. It's just either been a little too high and the center fielder's getting it, or it's a little too low, and then it turns into a ground ball throw out in first. For the first time, it feels like that they've actually executed what they've been trying to execute in their batting attack.
New runner in as Hacker, after the single, will take a seat. And Asia Shirey, a senior from Shawnee, a hometown girl who played her high school ball just to the south there in Tecumseh, checks in to run. And by the way, that was 9. I want to get this correct. 9 consecutive batters that Rogers had retired. You go back to the previous hit, a single by Cook back in the 3rd inning. And of course, that single by Hacker there. Shirey now in first, running for Hacker. Sammy Green, GAC Player of the Year, now batting 0 for 2 on the day. Ground ball to third. The throw to first is in time. Lear to Huey. Runner stranded, but the Bison actually get a hit again. First time in 3 innings. Need to make something happen in the 7th, and it will start with them having an opportunity to keep the Mule Riders at bay. 7th inning on the way here in this championship game. Southern Arkansas on top by 4.
We see you. Your incredible potential and willpower set you apart. You're first to take that leap of faith. First to get to work. First to solve the problem. No burden should be carried alone. We'll be there. Every step, day, challenge. First is your destiny. We get it because first is who we are.
RBI triple as Adams was able to find the gap right there in right center, and then Peyton Owens, an RBI triple as well. Back-to-back innings, you get 3 bases, you get a run out of it. And then Jenna Huey, that was a big double, an RBI to bring in Clausen. Huey was stoked, rightfully so. Her team went up by 4. That's where it stands right now as we head to the 7th inning of this championship game in the Great American Conference Softball Tournament. Joey McWilliams along with Nathan Johnson, Sierra Clark here in Bentonville at the Tiger Athletic Complex, and Georgia Barrett in the circle now. The Mule Riders have been held off the scoreboard since the 3rd inning, 0s in 4, 5, and 6 there. The Bison would like to see that happen one more inning and make a stand in the bottom of the 7th.
That's a lot of credit due to Georgia Barrett, right? When she came in, she kind of changed the tempo, throwing different pitches, keeping them off their game a little bit. One thing I want to revisit based off of that highlight package is, if you notice of the 2 triples, they are just in the pocket where the outfielders are diving for them. This isn't like it just lands on somebody's in front of them and they can just pick it up and throw it. They are both laying out, and then they're both having to get up and chase that down, which is giving them the opportunity to kind of get extra bases. So this is a hitting clinic in the early stages by SAU, but then Barrett's coming out and snuffing that flame pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, well hit balls, and He's finding the gap, but some speed by these runners too. Triple is one of the hardest things to get. One hop to short. The throw by Wells is in time. One down. Heart of the order now as Adams and Cummings on the way to follow Rubio. Adams is 1 for 3 on the day. You saw as we came out of the break that RBI triple, her one hit today. Strikeout in the 5th, ground out in the 3rd. Give her another hit. Why not? This one a single as the Mule Riders get a base runner once again. It's been a single in the 5th, the 6th. Both those were left on base. So walk back in the 4th as Dillon was left on base in the 4th and the 6th. And now Adams, or excuse me, Cummings swing, and that one a little bit deep. Green able to run over and make the grab there. Now 2 down. Got on a horse to get there. Made it happen. Now look back here really quickly, and Reagan Dillon has reached base in the 1st, the 2nd, the 4th, and the 6th, and been stranded in all 4 innings. One more opportunity now for Southern Arkansas here in the top of the 7th. Savannah Clausen. Clausen is 3 for 3 on the day. She scored in the 2nd and the 3rd. A single in both the 2nd, 3rd, and also the 5th. Swing and a miss there. And the count goes to 0-1. Clausen, after going 1 for 7 in the previous 2 games, is 3 for 3 today. Goes down in the count 0-2 here. Swing and a miss there, sits down after 3 for 3. She'll take a seat. Barrett with another strikeout, and Oklahoma Baptist down to their final opportunity. The bottom of the 7th is on the way here in Bentonville, and if the Bison are going to keep their season alive, this is where they have to get it done.
At Southern Arkansas University, we believe success comes from grit, showing up every day, ready to face challenges head on. It takes determination, pushing beyond limits, learning, growing, and leading with purpose. And it takes perseverance, because every setback is just another step on the path forward. That's why we were nationally ranked the #1 best small public college in Arkansas by niche. Southern Arkansas University. Grit, determination, and the ride of a lifetime.
Brinson Rogers has had herself a day. She's had herself a tournament. My goodness, Nathan, she's had herself a season. And she has one more opportunity here in conference play, at least at the tournament level, to shine. Max, Wells, Ryan, 4, 5, and 6 for the Bison. And Sierra, Oklahoma Baptist does need to make something happen here.
Yeah, and they've made things happen throughout this tournament. Every game they've played in this tournament has been a walk-off win. And I asked Coach Brewer before this game, I asked him, well, you guys have had so many heart-racing wins. How are you going to use that in this game? And he said, well, I'd rather have a heart-racing win than a heart-racing loss. So we just have to absolutely stay focused and do what we do best.
So there's one more inning, one more opportunity. Morgan Max, who has been the pitcher today, also now the designated player once again. She's 0 for 2. Savannah Clausen has taken care of business both times. She's had a fly out to the shortstop. Greenlee Wells to follow her. Allie Ryan then. The 3 for Oklahoma Baptist in their final opportunity today. Max fouls that one back, stays alive here in this at bat. Southern Arkansas trying to win the tournament championship and also take the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. The number 3 team in the regional rankings right now.
I think it says a lot when you look at how the infielders are spaced out, leaving that much over the pitcher open. I think it says a lot about their confidence in Rogers in throwing an off speed or keeping the pitch in a position to where the batter's not going to be able to hit it straight down. They're either going to hit it down either foul line, and it's going to be playable by these basemen that are shifted over to that foul line. They're begging them, they're offering it to them to go down that straight down the middle, but they just can't.
Well, and it's also one of those things too. You point this out, and it's a very much a valid observation. To Clausen again, bobbles it. The throw not in time. Just couldn't hang on to it. And Max has gone to Clausen in each of the 3 times she's hit the ball, both in the air prior. That one on the turf, and it was just a tough bounce. Clausen couldn't quite bring it back in. And watch how she gets it just for a second. Stays with it though. She didn't let it go past her. The throw not is in time, and Max will reach on a single. And that gives Clausen, or gives Rogers, another opportunity. Now with Greenlee Wells coming up. To your point, Nathan, it's a different feel from Oklahoma Baptist because they know they can't play the small ball in the same way that they were playing against Southwestern, especially, and then to an extent against Southern Nazarene yesterday. So you're not seeing that same. They're not going to try to just move in advance and bunt and get across. They've got to try to make something happen here. So we'll see what happens with Wells.
I also wonder if it plays into a mental aspect, right, where you see the open lane, you see how where you want to place it, and it kind of gets you in the batter in that mindset of, you know what, I want to swing at this. This is something I can get. And then Brinson's throwing a off speed or a curve or a slider to the point where they can't get it.
No, you have to make the changes on the fly. That one near the bullpen for Oklahoma Baptist. It will bounce well on down the road. Ryan on deck. And that one, as Wells finds the gap. Her first hit of the day. It's a double, and Max will stay at third.
No outs. 2 runners in scoring position. Look at the placement of this. This is what we were talking about. Right over the pitcher in that gap, right by the logo is where they're swinging for. And right between the center and the right fielder that just drops, makes everybody kind of run to it, gives them time to get from first to third and get all the way around for that double. That is beautiful placement, beautiful patience. They're getting their rhythm now. No outs, 2 runners in scoring position. It plays to their script, right? They always love to play the walk-off. They always love to play the end, and they never give up until the end of the game.
Exactly. Southern Arkansas, after Rogers has given up a single and a double, and this is one of those things that Ryan comes back. Greenlee Wells with a strong hit there, and Sierra, that's exactly what Oklahoma Baptist needed.
Greenlee Wells has just been an incredible athlete and super steady for the Bisons all year long, and she's just a very consistent worker and also has a great mentality, and that really is able to handle the ups and downs of the game of softball, which OBU has experienced quite well throughout this tournament.
Thank you, Sierra. Well, she has shown for them now when they need her. Allie Ryan puts that one high. It is deep. It will stay within, but a run will score. Ryan does her job. and gets one in as Morgan Max comes home, and the Bison are on the board for the first time today. Allie Ryan with the 3-run shot, the game winner yesterday. She helps her team get a run on the board for the first time in the bottom of the 7th inning. One down, though, for the Bison, and Michelle Marshall comes to bat.
And yesterday she hit it out of the park, right? And so there is the possibility that we could be looking at a 4-3 game at this at-bat.
So Marshall, she's had a sacrifice fly to score a run. She's also put one out of the park as well. Has a runner on now. Only 2 outs left for the Bison, though. Want to use those as well as they can. A sac fly right here from Marshall would likely only advance Wells to third. So she'd like to put one into play. Hard swing and a miss there. 1-2 now the count. That one fouled back beyond where we're standing. Over near the GAC truck, which is not a food truck, by the way.
Many people would beg to differ. It's a highly controversial topic 2 days ago.
That one's going to drift beyond playability as well. One and two now the countdown with 1 out. Marshall struck out looking in the 3rd, or in the 2nd, struck out swinging in the 5th. And didn't want to strike out looking again. Close to that outside corner. 2-2 though the count.
Rogers was trying to get her fishing right there all the way out, waiting for that green light.
That one fouled back. Stays alive here in this at bat. Laskowski on deck. And Davis in the hole. Marshall to left field. Reagan Dillon there. Out 2 registered. And Wells has nowhere to go but to stay at second. Abby Laskowski. Final hope now.
That was probably the last thing that they wanted that to be. It was close enough to the wall where you could have considered that was going to go out. It was short enough to where you couldn't even get from second to third.
Now, when you hit to that side of the field and with a bat like Marshall, you want to pull it there to right if you can. You have to get the out that gives a little bit more room for Wells to try to make something happen. She doesn't. Now it comes down to Laskowski. Southern Arkansas has won a significant number of regular season titles in the last 14 years here in the conference as Laskowski puts that on the turf. Owens, the throw to first to Huey is in time, and for the first time since 2016, they're going to add a tournament championship to that trophy shelf. 2014, 2016, and now 2025 for the Southern Arkansas Mule Riders. Coach Jason Anderson's team winners in the regular season and here in Bentonville at the tournament. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about these two teams, what happens from here, and talk about the all-tournament team as well. Back here in a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
I am inspired to lead.
I'm inspired to research. I'm inspired to care for others.
I'm inspired to shape the future.
I'm inspired to tell compelling stories.
I'm inspired to innovate.
I'm inspired to create.
I'm inspired to serve.
I'm inspired to be a champion.
I'm inspired to change the world.
Everyone tells you to think about the future, but strength, knowledge, and wisdom are what you build along the way. There's power in the process. We value this moment because at ATU, you write your own script to what comes next. So here's your cue. Right here, right where you are. Focus on the now, because our focus is on your success.
There it is, Laskowski on the ground. Owens to Huey. This one's done, in the books. It's been 9 years since the Mule Riders have been able to celebrate a tournament championship. They're able to do so now, and Sierra Clark is on the field with the winning coach, Jason Anderson.
Coach Anderson, your team has finished runner-up the past 3 times here. What does it feel like to finally be able to call yourself a GAC Conference Tournament champion?
Hey, nice to be on this side of it. Nice to be on this side of it. You know, like I said, it's proud of them, fought hard, good Oklahoma Baptist team there. Hats off to them. They had a great year, but we like to be on this side of it. I mean, we've been playing for it all year. We started out in August to be here, and this is where they are, and we deserved it, and we expected it, so I'm happy for them.
It's a very windy day here in Bentonville, but your bats were able to get hot, especially in those first 3 innings. How were you guys able to push through all of that?
Hey, scored. Sometimes they say it's better to be lucky and good. Got a couple little hits here that fell our way. Got on the board early and let Brinson go to work. So that's what we needed. I thought if we could score early, we gave ourselves a chance, and that's what it ended up being.
And Brinson Rogers has pitched every inning throughout this entire tournament. How have you been able to just trust her throughout this entire season?
Oh, we've been trusting her all year. We don't change anything when we get to this point. She gives us a chance to win every time she steps in the circle, so we're gonna keep riding her as long as we can.
All right, well, thank you so much, and congratulations, and go celebrate with your team. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sierra. Congratulations, Coach Rogers. Brinson Rogers on the day, or Coach Anderson, excuse me. I had Brinson Rogers on my mind. 7 innings pitched. She gave up only 3 hits, only 1 run. It wasn't earned. Struck out 5, walked 1 on the day, and had a pitch count of 107, which, I mean, you said might not even get to 100. It finally did, but hey, she has been durable and that much and more this year and this tournament too.
Yeah, towards the end, it seems like the Oklahoma Baptist shifted their game plan a little bit and started attacking Brinson Rogers a little more patiently as opposed to first pitch swinging, and so they ended up pushing her pitch count a little bit more, which inevitably led to a run being scored. It was a very good game. It was a very compact game, and it was a very infield heavy game. A lot of the balls that went out in the outfield didn't really land anywhere except in somebody's glove or between 2 diving outfielders. So it was a very good game. Both pitchers did really well. The Barrett coming in allowed 0 runs, showcased her talent. Makes you wonder what would have happened if she had let off. But the battle of what ifs, if you're not aggressive, you're not a coach, right? So sometimes you got to take a chance on your players. And so it was a very, very good game.
Well, and you know, to Coach Brewer's credit on that, he's also said he goes by what he feels.
Yeah.
And apparently he felt like the change needed to be made between when he turned in the lineup card and when they came out there. And so he went with it. Didn't work to what they wanted this time, but you know, it has all season long. So he's been right a lot more, I'm sure. And so props to Oklahoma Baptist in that. Morgan Max takes the loss today in 4 innings pitched. Southern Arkansas 4 runs on 10 hits. There was 1 error. Oklahoma Baptist 1 run, 3 hits, no errors all the way across. And we'll get a chance to hear from folks here in the Bentonville Tiger Athletic Complex in just a moment, as Philip Yount's going to be the PA person all weekend long. He's going to give us the announcement about the all-tournament team, and we'll listen to that.
Bentonville for providing an outstanding softball championship experience. A round of applause for all of those who helped put on this fantastic event. At this time, we will begin our award ceremony with the naming of the all-tournament squad. Presenting the awards this afternoon is GAC Commissioner Will Pruitt. Your all-tournament team. From Arkansas Tech, pitcher Alexis Finley. From Harding, outfielder Kaya Lee. From Harding, pitcher Brooklyn Goebel. From Southern Nazarene, catcher Liana Hashiki. From Southern Nazarene, outfielder Maddie Sutherland. From Oklahoma Baptist, number 13, Allie Ryan. From Oklahoma Baptist, number 6, Greenlee Wells. From Oklahoma Baptist, number 21, JC Schaefer. From Southern Arkansas, number 9, Savannah Clausen. From Southern Arkansas, number 18, Jenna Huey. From Southern Arkansas, number 55, Brinson Rogers. And the final member of the all-tournament team and tournament most valuable player is, from Southern Arkansas, number 65, Reagan Dillon. And now the runner-up trophy goes to the Bison from Oklahoma Baptist. And now, the 2025 Great American Conference Softball Tournament champions and recipients of an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, the Mule Riders from Southern Arkansas University.
And there you see the seniors come out to collect the trophy and pose with the banner for the championship of the Great American Conference Softball Tournament. As we are winding down our coverage here from Bentonville, Arkansas. Reagan Dillon, the MVP, tournament MVP, and she's had a great tournament, but you know what? It's culminated in a solid day today, 3 for 3 with a walk, and her performance in the field obviously speaks for itself as well. Out in left field, she did what needed to be done. A couple of big catches today as well.
Yeah, I think the team as a whole played one of the best through-and-through games that they could have, and they played their game and they played to their strengths. And so applaud SAU in the way that they approached, in the way that they executed their game plan. Also, we want to give a mad respect to Oklahoma Baptist. They came in and they showed their adaptability. They showed that they aren't afraid to change, and also that they're not afraid to take a chance, as they took a chance to start out this game. So runner-up is nothing to scoff at. There are a lot of teams here in the GAC conference and a lot of good teams. And it is not an easy road to get to the championship game here. So they should hold their heads high and they should be proud that they are there. And an SAU to get as far as they did and to not allow Oklahoma Baptist to do, you know, a late 7th rally that they are so well known for in this tournament. They did their job. They should be proud of that as well. This is an all-around great game for everybody.
Well, to Oklahoma Baptist credit, and Nathan, also to Southern Arkansas, one of the big things here, both of these teams made something happen in 2025 that we haven't seen from Southern Arkansas in a little while. They got the tournament title overall because they'd come up just a little bit short, even with the regular season championships, even with the trips to the NCAA tournament, because there have been many of them without a tournament championship, a testament to what they've done in the regular season. But for the first time in 9 years, they get the tournament title. For Oklahoma Baptist, they've been the regular season champions in 23 and 24 and did not have success at all in Bentonville. This year, you make it to the championship game at least, so you're playing on Saturday. Sierra has an opportunity to talk with a couple of members from that all-tournament team and, of course, some mule riders that are going to be playing next week.
Well, congratulations on winning the conference title. I mean, you guys have finished first runner-up multiple times, but how does it feel to finally call yourself a champion? We'll start with you.
It feels really good. We've been to this championship game multiple times, and we've always wanted to win it, and we never have. So I think this is just a feeling that is indescribable because we finally did it.
And Brinson, what about you? I mean, it's your last go around. You said you wanted this so bad because you knew it was your last time playing for Southern Arkansas.
Honestly, it feels deserving. We've worked our tails off, and we have had everything thrown against us. We've had people, step away. We've had surgeries on teammates, and we kept showing up for each other, and I think that's why we won. That's why we've been the team we have been.
And you've pitched complete games this entire tournament, and mentally, how have you been able to keep yourself going and your teammates as well?
Mentally, I know today there was a chance that, this could be the last, so might as well play like it's going to be.
And then for you, you're going to the tournament, the NCAA tournament. How exciting is it to know that you have a chance of continuing on your season and maybe bringing home another trophy?
This group of girls is really special this year, so to get to keep playing with them is what makes us all the happiest. We love going to the tournament, but I think just playing with these girls is what excites me the most, that we get to keep going together.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time, guys, and go celebrate with your team. Congratulations. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sierra, and appreciate your work throughout the course of this weekend. A member of the Great American Conference crew, and a shout out to the entirety of the GAC Sports Network crew. Want to give a shout out to our camera operators extraordinaire, including Keith Brown, Christopher Morgan, Jillian Baker, doing a fantastic job. And our camera work here has been nothing short of stellar, as is always the case. Always the guys in the truck, too. Aaron Garrett does a great job with our audio, and I trust him with that. That's a big deal for somebody. Audio is so important. Our graphics with Tamara Brown, and she just does a little bit of everything all the time. We appreciate her. Barrett Pfeiffer, my goodness, he's had his hands on so many things, doing replay and drone work and more, and been in our ear today a lot, keeping things going in the truck. Taylor Gomez, my goodness, I just appreciate knowing that she's going to be in the truck always. I know I'm going a little long with this today, but we had a little time. It's been a quick game. I was
about to say.
So we can get through that. And I shout out to Taylor. I always love seeing, look through the sheet and know Taylor's going to be there, and somebody that you trust as a director. Nathan, my goodness, I have on my list here producer, drone operator, and color commentator today, too. So, we have to add to the list. The credits would just be Nathan Johnson over and again if we had a list in front of us, and then engineer, but executive producer as well, Matt Johnson. We appreciate him. And so just a shout out to everyone. And I mentioned Sierra a little bit earlier. Her work here has been fantastic. Also for Alyssa Orange, who was sitting and standing next to me for the last couple of days. And if I had thought for a moment that the camera was on me right then, I'd have taken the glasses off a little bit earlier. But shout out to Alyssa. Thank you very much for being a part of the broadcast here on Thursday and Friday. And it's been great having Alyssa as a part of the GAC crew. So, Nathan, final words here from Bentonville.
Yeah, first off, I want to continue on with what you were saying. Shout out to this entire crew, the growth of the crew, the showcase of talent of what this crew can do. There's not another team that we would ever rather work with or do things like this for. And we appreciate every single person that can hear this, that listens and watches us, that allows us to do a broadcast like this, to bring it to people's homes like this. We appreciate all of you at home, and we appreciate this op and this team. Looking back at the game, what a game. It couldn't have been a more storybook ending. The tease of OKB coming back at the end, right? The base runners that you had always alluded to with the 2 outs, just keeping everybody on the edge of their seat the entire game. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else than GSC Sports Network Championship Saturday with you. So I appreciate you, Joey. I appreciate the team. And I'll let you finish it off.
All right. Well, thank you very much. You see there once again that drone work. Man, it has just been a fantastic weekend. Ultimately culminated with Southern Arkansas getting the crown here in the tournament championship to go with the regular season championship. Shout out to Oklahoma Baptist for making it to this title game as well. What a great weekend for them. It's been a great day. The Mule Riders will ride on into the NCAA tournament with the automatic bid from the tournament championship. So for Sierra Clark and for Nathan Johnson, I am Joey McWilliams. pleased and privileged as always to get to be a part of the broadcast on the GAC Sports Network. Congratulations to the Mule Riders. God bless you all. Have a great day.